1971 to 1974. Strat-O-Matic Excel Carryover League. Brought to you by the Shrimp Trawler.
Game 97, Cubs at Pirates.
Welcome back, baseball fans. The 1971-74 Carryover League. We are back in the National League, and we are beginning, actually we've been beginning, the divisional rounds are beginning. Best of sevens. First time through your own division. Played a couple series already between Portland, Arizona, San Diego, and San Francisco. These were fourth place teams and third place teams a year ago. So we're going to start the third of these with the National League North, where the Pirates surprisingly finished third place a year ago. The Cubs finished in last, though the Cubs play very well. Let's take a look at what's happened in this series. Game 1, opening up in Wrigley Field. Bob Moose, Bird hootin'. It's a good day to be Cub. In the top of the sixth, you get an RBI single by Brenny Sten at 1-zip, but in the bottom of the inning, they get to Bob Moose here with singles and walks and a 3-1 lead. In the ninth inning, the Pirates make it interesting when Bob Robertson hits a solo shot. They get a Zisk double, a Hebner walk, but then Dave Parker, who's on the bench, and by the way, getting Dave Parker and Richie Zisk on this team when they, of course, weren't with the Pirates in 71 World Series or 72, really makes it opportunistic for this team to be a powerhouse. So we haven't seen it yet in the league. Maybe this should be their year. But they lose 3-2. Lloyd Allen gets the save for the Cubs. Cubs win Game 1, 3-2 in Wrigley Field. Can the Pirates get this thing going? The answer is, yeah, finally, Game 2. Pirates get it rolling. Jim Rooker versus Earl Stevenson, acquired from the Milwaukee in the offseason for the Cubs. And the Pirates juggle their line. They've been juggling the lineup until they find some offense, and they found it today, and I might just leave it alone now. They put Oliver first, Sanguin, Bob Robertson's batting cleanup. They moved Clemente and Stargell down to 5 and 6. 324 hitting Richie Zisk is batting 7th. That's the embarrassment of riches that the Pirates have. And they have crooked numbers all over the place. You have a 2-run homer by Clemente in the third, makes it 4-zip. Back-to-back doubles by Zisk and Tavares, sac fly by Oliver. And then in the eighth, they pile on against reliever Ray Burris. RBI, 2-run single by Hebner, 3-run homer by Bob Robertson, who loves batting cleanup for this team. 11-4. Pirates beat up on the Cubs, 11-4. And they even this thing up going back to the recently opened Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh. Game number 3. Rick Russell for the Cubs. Alan Foster signed away from the St. Louis Cardinals. Good move for the Pirates. It's a two-part move. They signed a nice pitcher, Alan Foster, to be their number 4 starter, and that puts Bruce Keeson in the bullpen, where situationally he could be better set up as a guy who dominates righties, not lefties. Pirates get this thing clicking in the 4th. Double, single, double by Hebner. 2-base error by Billy Williams. That's a shame there. Solo homer here, Bob Robertson. And again, the Pirates pile on in the 8th inning. It is a 10-2 final. Pirates are up 2-1 in the series. And we'll go to Game 4, where the Aces will battle. The Aces in Game 4, Fergie Jenkins, Steve Blass. Bottom of the first, right out of the gates, the Pirates all over Fergie. Stennett single, Oliver single, Stargell double. Bob Robertson single, it's 3-zip. And you're thinking, oh boy. Another single by Clemente, but then Fergie strikes out Dave Parker, and he gets Manny Sanguin to hit into a 4-6-3 double play. Did the Pirates mess up by just scoring 3 runs in this first inning and leaving ducks in the pond? We'll find out. Top of the third. Madlock reaches on a Rennie Stennett error. Boy, this Pirate defense is porous at times. A single by Briggs, a double by Beckert. It's 3-2 Pirates. Stays this way. Fergie Jenkins settles down nicely. And look at these middle innings here for Fergie. 1 hit over the next 6 frames. Bottom of the 7th, it is a 1-out double by Al Oliver to make the game 4-2. Pittsburgh, they want to be in these situations late in games because they figure they have the best lefty-righty combo at the back end, Ramon Hernandez and Dave Justy. They each get a couple outs and close this thing out. It's a 4-2 win for Steve Blass and the Pirates. Blass's line, 7 2/3, 7 hits, 2 runs, 1 was earned, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. So Steve Blass, the ace of the Pirates, beats Fergie in a Game 4, and the Pirates, after losing Game 1, have won 3 straight. They're up 3 games to 1. And today we will have a Game 5 in Pittsburgh. If the Cubs win this, we can go back to Wrigley Field for Game 6 and 7 if necessary. It'll be Bert Hooton and the Cubs. Let's give you his information. Bert Hooton, 11-14 with a 2.81 ERA in 1972 in 218 innings. And it is Bob Moose for the Pirates, 13-10, 291, 226 innings. Both guys are starter 7s. Evenly matched performances for the 2 guys. Should be an interesting game. Cubs have shown they've had fight previously, last year and in their first series of the year. They've lost 3 straight to the Pirates in this one, so it's time to right their ship and get this thing back to Wrigley, is the mission. Leading off is Glenn Beckert. The Cubs have also juggled their lineup. Glenn Beckert, with his magnificent 342 card, was batting 3rd now and batting 2nd. Now he's batting 1st. 2-7 rolls to 3rd. Batting 2nd, Johnny Briggs, acquired in the offseason, 54 lines of short. Batting 3rd, Don Mincher, also acquired in the offseason, 6'3", bouncer to short X. This is Milbourne, a 3.38 for the Pirates. And he makes the play. Something that the middle infielders normally don't do for the Pirates. Bottom of 1, Rennie Stennett, 45, rolls to 2nd. Al Oliver, 66, is a base hit off the Hooton card. Pop Stargell, 6'11", left X. This is Billy Williams, a 3-4 in left field. And a 2-base error on a 3-4. And by the way, with this spreadsheet, if you ever want to chase an error result percentage-wise and say, you know, 4 is a really good E rating for an outfielder. How come he dropped this ball? Well, you can go to the computer here and figure out if it's extremely low, it happened. The rare thing happened. And when you go to E rating on this record, or excuse me, this sheet, and this is your dice roll that just occurred in the E rating. And it's just by percentage, and it is 4.65%. So that's pretty much going to be an error for pretty much every non-E0 outfielder, 4% when you hit his E rating. So that is why, that's the hard wiring. If you want to look inside the box and unscrew the game and look inside and peek at things, that's why it's 2-base error. 2-base error for Mr. Billy Williams. 2nd and 3rd, Bob Robertson, 63 off Hooton, 2nd X. This is a 2E10 at second base, and that will score a run on a ground ball to second base as the runner moves up from 2nd to 3rd with 2 outs for Roberto Clemente. 112 rolls to the mound. 1-0 Bucks as we go to the 2nd. Ron Santo, 67's a K. Billy Williams, 56, pops to 1st. Bill Madlock, the rookie, 2-6, base hit. B. Steeler, but you have a -3 arm for Sangian. Kessinger, 6'10", 3rd X. This is Hebner at 3rd, a 3-12 at 3rd base. He makes the play. Bottom of 2, it is the Cobra, Dave Parker. He's a rookie, so he's not quite the Cobra yet. They don't call him the Cobra here. They go with Baby Snakes. This is what his young nickname is. 47 is a K. Manny Sanguillen, 37's a base hit. Richie Hebner, 45, flies to center, and with 2 outs. Larry Milbourne, 2-7, is a liner to second base. They signed Milbourne away from the Astros to play short along with Frank Tamarez. Top of the third, Del Unser, 35 is a walk. Randy Hundley, 35. Let's take a look at Randy Hundley's card. He's still here in Chicago because he can throw out runners. Good defensive catcher, has a little bit of power. Batting average is starting to wane a bit. He's got a -2 arm, 10 homers in half a season, and 226 batting average. 3.5 is 111 single dot. That'll put runners in the corners. For Glenn Beckert, they're going to bring the infield up because he is an A bunter. Glenn Beckert. 1-5. Let's take a look at the Beckert card. This is it. This is that magnificent year of 71 for Glenn Beckert. My goodness, it must have been amazing for him at the All-Star game to be introduced next to, Joe Torre and Billy Williams and Willie Stargell and Willie Mays and Willie McCovey and Johnny Bench. And there's old Glenn Beckert there with his best offensive year ever. So great story there. 342 year in 71. 1-5, however, is homer 1-6, fly ball the rest, and he would miss it here by rolling a 13. So it is a sac fly. Runner at first is Hundley with 1 out for Johnny Briggs. 3-11, flies to center. And with 2 outs, Don Mencher, 45, flies left. Bottom of the third, tied at 1. Rennie Stennett. 2-8, rolls to short. Al Oliver, 35, single 1 of 3, lines out. And with 2 outs, it's Pop Stargell. 47 is a strikeout. We go to the fourth. Pretty dead even game. Same number of plate appearances and runs. Ron Santo, 3-6. Let's take a look at Mr. Ron Santo's card of the year, 72. Had 17 homers. Power down a little bit, but the batting average is way up there at 302. 69 walks as well. Good defense at third. And he could even play second and short in the outfield in a pinch as a utility player. Pretty cool little season for old Ron here. 3-6, homer 1 of 15, and that is gone. And your Cubs grab a 2-1 lead. Billy Williams, 47, second X. Here's the problem defensively. Rennie Stennett's a 4E41 second baseman, but he makes the play here. Good for him. Bill Madlock, 35, another single. He's 2 for 2. We're going to see Kessinger do a little hit and run with Madlock at first, but he pops out on a 10. That did not work. Now you got Del Unser. 1-7. Let's take a look at the Del Unser card. Nice little player they got from the Phillies, along with John Briggs. 289 hitter with 11 home runs. That's probably his highest home run total of his career. 11 home runs for Del Unser, 289. 1-7, double 1 to 11. That is a 2-base hit. Does put runners at second and third. And here's Hundley, who singled in his first plate appearance. 48 off of Moose. Single 1 to 6, line out the rest, and he lines out on a 12. So your Cubs may regret only scoring once in that inning, leaving 2 men on, and it's a 2-1 game as they go to the bottom of the fourth. Bob Robertson, 2-6, rounds to short. Roberto Clemente, 48, flies to center. Dave Parker, 35, single 1 to 12. He lines out on a 20. Top of the fifth. Glenn Beckert, 56, is a K. John Briggs, 1-9, is a K. And Don Mencher, 1-8, is a base hit. Ron Santo homered his last at bat. 49 off of Moose is a single to center. Mencher's a little plodding, 11 runner. He'll hold it second. 2 on, 2 outs, and he'll let Billy Williams hit away. 2-9, Billy Williams rolls to third base. Cubs leaving men on. Left 4 men on the last couple frames. Just 2-1 as we go to the bottom half of the fifth inning. Let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
Okay, in the bottom of the fifth inning, Manny Sanguin will lead it off. Just 2 hits for the Pirates thus far off Hooten. 48 is a fly ball to center. Richie Hebner, 212 first. Larry Milbourne, 68 is a walk. And we'll go back up top to Rennie Stennett. Let's take a look at his card before he swings. You'll see, folks, the dilemma the Pirates have. You know, even in 1971, Dave Cash would get hurt in like August, whatever, and they brought Stennett in there, and he hit 353, 153 at-bats. But even Stennett was not able to crack that World Series lineup when Cash returned from injury with a 353 batting average. And his defense is the reason why. He's terrible defensively. But he does boast a 353 batting average. Runner on first, 2 outs. Here's the pitch to Rennie Stennett. 67 off of Hooten's card is a single to left field. Milbourne, don't think, 15, 16, 17 to go to third. Don't normally like to do it, but they're going to do it. And he's in there. And Al Oliver, 55 off of Hooten is short X. This is Kessinger. Needs to make a defensive play here. 2E28, and he cannot. That is a single off his 2 defense, and the Pirates have tied the game up. The aggressive base running, and then Kessinger unable to make a play on a ground ball. It's called a single, and we got a tie game. 2-2 with first and second and 2 outs, and it's Pop Stargell. 39, let's take a look at Stargell's card. The magnificent 71 MVP, 48 homers. Wasn't the MVP, oh my goodness. 48 home runs, 295 batting average. Joe Torre was your MVP. Played in the same division, too, by the way. But believe it or not, Torre had more runs batted in. Lou Brock might have something to do with that. But 48 homers and a 295 batting average, 83 walks. This amazing Willie Stargell card, 39, base hit in left field. Stennett at second is a 12 runner as well, not as fast as you'd think he would be. 12, 13, 14. Billy Williams, 0 arm. We're going to run him on a 14 with 2 outs to give the Pirates a lead if possible. And on advance, he rolls a 2. And that's an RBI single. Pirates take a 3-2 lead as Stennett scores. Oliver goes to third on the throw. So Oliver's at third, Stargell's at first, and here is Bob Robertson. 33 flies to center. Nice little game here. 3-2 game into the 6th. We go. It is Bill Madlock. 2-4, rolls a short. Don Kessinger, 47, second X. Here we go. Did not pull him for defense. 40-41, and they've been doing that, and it's a single. So the tie run is on. They had been putting Mazeroski in at second base after 3 plate appearances for Stennett. They didn't do it this time, and they just paid the price. Kessinger has a little bit of wheels, but he'll hold. For Del Unser, 35 is a Del Unser walk. 2 on, 1 out. Randy Hundley, 1 for 2. 1-4 flies to left, and with 2 outs, it's Glenn Beckert. Missed a homer earlier, is 0 for 2 with a sac fly. 112 flies to left field B, plus injury even, to add insult there. Beckert is hurt. He'll have to leave the game, and we need a second baseman, and we're getting kind of thin here. We're going to have to move, oh boy, we're going to have to move old Ron Santo over to second. Bill Madlock can play third in his place. So we can bring in a DH or a better defensive player elsewhere. And there isn't any better defensive players elsewhere for the Cubs. So we have our choice of Jim Hickman or Carmen Fanzone to be the new DH. And I guess they'll go the Carmen Funzone. Yeah, he'll come in Beckert's spot. He can also play third base, but he cannot do it better than Madlock. Madlock's a 4E24 at third. Santo will be a 4E41 as the emergency second baseman as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning of a 3-2 game. It'll be Roberto Clemente leading off. 34 rolls a third. The Cobra, Dave Parker. 1-5, let's take a look at the Cobra card. Oh my goodness, folks, yeah. 288 and 73 is teammates with Roberto Clemente, which is fine. But it's just, there's no room at the end for all these guys. Richie Zisk is on the bench because you got Parker and Clemente and Oliver. and Robertson and Willie Stargell. Yeah, so you can't play them all. So Parker gets the start. 1-5 is automatically gone, and it's 4-2 Pittsburgh. Manny St. Ian. 69 is a walk. Hooten struggling a little bit. Richie Hebner. 37 for your 300 hitting number 8 hitter is a walk. And the 2 on with 1 out, it'll be Larry Milbourne. 1-8 is another walk, and I think Mr. Hooten might be out of gas here in the 6th. They're going to yank old Mr. Hooten here after 5 1/3 in a 4-2 game. Trying to keep this thing reasonable. They'll go to Don Hood. Out of the pen for the Cubs. He was an Oriole. That's where teams go when they need some help pitching. They take players off the Oriole roster. 3.47 ERA and 74 for Don Hood. And the Cubs got his rights. So Don Hood comes on in the 6th inning. Bases loaded, 1 out game. And they're going to pinch hit for Rennie Stenner. They're going to just bring in Bill Mazeroski because he can hit lefties pretty well, and he's also your defensive replacement. Bill Mazeroski will bat here. The bases loaded, 1 out. They're going to bring the infield up. The pitch to Mazeroski. 2-3 is a liner to third. So with 2 outs now, this is a big at-bat here. Al Oliver, the bases loaded and 2 outs in a 4-2 game. The pitch to Al Oliver. 35 is single 1 to 10, and he rolls an 11 on single 1 to 10. Oliver hit 312. We know why he didn't hit 313. That is a line out, and the inning's over. Don Hood did what he needed to do to keep the Cubs in this game. It's just 4-2 into the 7th. It's a fun one here in Three Rivers. Top of the 7th. No other defense for the Pirates to bring in. It'll be John Briggs. You have Hernandez and Justy Warming. They normally finish the 8th and 9th innings of 1 or 2 run games. Pirates have not been in a lot of those this year, but they are more than capable of finishing this stuff. I'm not going to let their pitcher lose. As a matter of fact, Moose with a 2-run lead, we're not going to have him lose. If he puts 2 guys on, he's getting the hook. John Briggs. 2-9, flies to center. Don Mincher, 48 is single 1 to 6. Cannot get it. He rolls a 7. That's a tough break for these Cubs. They need their breaks, and they're not getting them. Now you got Santo, 2 for 3 with a solo homer. 67 is a strikeout. The Moose, the Bob Moose, gets through 7, just giving up a couple runs. Bottom half of the 7th. Stretch time here in Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh. We've been enjoying the Intruders. Band from Pennsylvania in the late 60s, early 70s. Cowboys to Girls. Love is Like a Baseball Game. Slow Drag. Sad Girl. Great stuff by the Intruders. They were on the Gamble record label out of Pennsylvania. Probably out of Philadelphia maybe, or Pittsburgh. I'm not sure which. But anyway, great soul band here. Bottom of the 7th we go. Don Hood the lefty will continue against Willie Stargell. 38, Stargell, double 1 to 2. Fly ball. That's why Hood was brought in, to get those outs against the lefties. Now you got Robertson, Clemente, and you know what? They're going to take that goodwill and take Hood out. And go Ray Burris. Ray Burris is going to come in to face the righties now. Figuring that Hood's magic. Let's not exhaust him. Ray Burris will come on in 73. Burris for the Cubs at a 2.91 ERA and 65 innings of relief. He'll face Robertson and Clemente. With 1 out in the 7th. Pitch to Bob Robertson. 2-9, let's take a look at Bob Robertson's card. Yeah, the forgotten guy, but boy, in 71, old Bob had 26 home runs and just 469 at-bats. Magnificent year. Good World Series, had a home run in it. 2-9, double 1 to 12, 2 base hit. Now you have Roberto Clemente. Might as well take a look at him as well. His 71 season, World Series MVP, 341 batting average. Crushes lefties against righties. He's just a kind of ordinary 300 hitter. So Burris will pitch to him with runner at second and 1 out. 2-6 though. Clemente gets a clean single, and that will score Robertson from second. It is a 5-2 game. Burris cannot do what is necessary for the Cubs. 5-2 with Clemente at first. It'll be Dave Parker. 39 is a fly ball to right. Sanguian. 57 is a K. Pirates increase their lead to 5-2, and they're gonna go right to the bullpen because this is a series clinching moment. You get 6 outs, you win this series 4-1, and the Pirates are not going to fool around with the Cubs here. They're going to go straight to the back end boys. Ramon Hernandez comes on in the 8th inning, 5-0, 167 ERA in 70 innings in 1972. Not 71, 72. Remember, the Pirates, they had the best record in baseball in 1972. And they did not repeat as world champions. They didn't even go to the World Series. They lost to the Reds in the league championship when they were in different divisions. Now they're neighbors in this My League recreation. So in the 8th inning, Ramon Hernandez comes in to face Billy Williams. 3-6 is a walk. And that'll bring up Bill Madlock. 68 off Hernandez is a pop to first. Don Kessinger. 2-4 flies to center, and with 2 outs is Del Unser. And he will swing away here. 55 off Hernandez is second X, but it's Mazeroski brought in for defense. 2-10, second baseman. Error if he was a 4. Would have gotten on versus Stennett, but Mazeroski is the good glove second baseman. And that inning is over. 5-2 in the bottom of the 8th. Got a couple lefties coming up here, so they'll go back to a lefty in the 8th to the Cubs, and it'll be Ray Newman. Ray in 71 had a 3.55 ERA for the Cubs in 38 innings. It's always great that Strat prints these cards, these extra player cards with 30, 20, 30, 40 innings, because they're very important to making a carryover league. You have enough talent to distribute to all the little teams, so everybody has enough lefties and righties and so forth. So Ray Newman, glad they made his card. Bottom of the 8th, it's Richie Hebner. 59 is a walk. Larry Milbourne. 2-7 is a K. Bill Mazeroski. 65 off Newman is a K. And with 2 outs, it's Al Oliver. 58 is another walk. So 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. I'm guessing they're taking a lot of pitches here as he's kind of wild. But you got Stargell, another lefty, with 2 on and 2 outs. 6-12 rolls back to the mound. So we'll go to the 9th of a 5-2 game. Hundley, Fanzone, Briggs, and Hernandez. They're going to go straight to Dave Justy in the 9th inning with a 3-run lead. Be rather remarkable if he blows this thing. He's 7-4 with a 1.92 ERA. 75 innings and 72 for Dave Justy. Him and Hernandez, the best duo, we believe, in the league. And the Pirates, we're kind of seeing today that this is definitely a World Series favorite. One of the teams, we haven't seen them make a run yet. We've seen the Mets, we've seen the Reds, the Giants to a certain extent. It's about time the Pirates step up and show some dominance, and they have a chance to today at least. So it's Randy Hundley leading off in the 9th inning. 37's a K. The Carmen Fun Zone. 111 grounds to short. And with 2 outs, Johnny Briggs. 3-10, 3 up, 3 down. Pretty easy peasy for your Pirates. Dispatching the Cubs. It is a 5-2 victory in a Game 5, and the Pirates have won this series 4-1. Tough break for the Cubs. They actually played pretty well, but they're just, unfortunately, in this timeline, they're overmatched. And they really put together a nice batting order to the Cubs, but the pitching is kind of meh. Justy gets a save with a strikeout. Ramon Hernandez walked a batter. Everything else looked good for Moose. 7 strong innings, 8 hits, but just 2 runs. They were earned. Walked 2, strikeout 4. Ray Newman had 2 walks and 2 Ks in the 8th. Burris came in and gave up a run immediately. 2 hits, a run, and a K. Don Hood did nice job there. Getting 3 straight outs. But Hooten, in those middle innings, gave up too many runs. 6 hits and 4 runs for Hooten in 5 2/3, and some walks. Run in the first is unearned. We'll call it 3 earned runs, yep, and 4 walks, 2 strikeouts. 1019-0108 5828 5828 5828 3565. And with that, the series is over, so we can just go straight to the composite box and do a wrap of the video. Both teams went 5 games in the first round, but lost 3-2. So they started 2-3. So the Cubs are going to be in trouble early on. The Pirates righted the ship and finally at least demonstrated for one series what they're capable of doing to the National League. Let's take a look at the Pirates. So after starting 2-3, they win 4 out of 5. They're 6-4 now. And they are hitting .285 with a .259 ERA. That's great stuff there. They've scored 45 runs, given up just 30. So you see that, yeah, they could easily be 7-3, 8-2 if the ball bounces the right way. Back end of the bullpen is virtually untouchable. Of course, Hernandez is below 1 game, got a loss. Moose, that is actually Moose's first win. And all the starters have just 1 win. So no clear ace emerging from the Pirates. Your Cubs, on the other hand, tough start for them. They're 3-7. Hitting .253, but you got a .508 team ERA. That's just not going to work in this division. Old Fergie Jenkins, it's tough to say it. He's just in a bad spot in this division. He's a starter 9, so they're going to leave him out there for a lot of innings, knowing that he's, could give up some crooked number innings. 0-3. 20 innings, but he's got 2 complete games. So at least he gives his bullpen a break when he pitches. 14 runs in 20 innings and 3 losses. So just a really bad start for Fergie, which is a rather shame there. And you know what? The Cubs have only hit 3 home runs in 10 games, and that's probably not going to work either. So they got to turn things around immediately, or they're going to have a horrible year if they don't in the next series. We've played 97 games to this point. And it is the year of the pitcher. They've finally emerged, and we got the team batting average is now .249. It's finally drifted under .250. .313 on base. League ERA of .319. .133 whip. Getting a little bit of dead ball happening here. If you want to look at where it got dead, you could say 72 was sort of a down year for batting average. There was a labor stoppage. But then 73, the designated hitter was added, and the numbers shot right back up for hitting. So right now we're in between the tent poles of 69 and 73, where 69 was an expansion year, tons of hitting, 73, designated hitter, tons of hitting, and we're kind of in between right now. And this will probably be one of the best pitching years in the carryover league that we've had. So thanks for checking this out. Congratulations, Pirates. They do win this series, 4 games to 1. Thanks for checking this out, and we'll see you next time.